Here's a date marked documentation. I just, I just know. Okay? There's a lot of false information out there on how the human being should work, how to get it to do something that's impossible. Hear me correct. Don't think I'm ignorant before you hear what I'm really saying. Meaning, I am going to discuss this in such depth you couldn't possibly dispute this. No breakthrough, no new information. It's impossible to have on the human being that grows by itself. It's always been the exact same, and it always will be. God designed the body in his image, in the image of Jesus Christ. That's why we're a clothing company here, our 5-word company name. The literal word of clothing, the only thing physically placed onto the physical body of the human being, this physical mechanical machine placed onto this physical rock in space we call Earth. Our bodies are just measurable mathematical degrees of hinges, levers, and rotations, determined by the shape and length of the bones within this universal human design. They grow by themselves, okay? We abide by universal laws. Gravity, okay? Physics in any form. Motion, mathematics. It just is what it is. The vertical pull to gravity comes down and meshes with the horizontal surface of the planet Earth. It's a 90-degree angle, okay? A right angle, a perpendicular angle. The vertical pull to gravity meshes with the center line of the human being. The sternum, the spine, the trachea, the nose, the jaw are some of the things in the center line of the human body, and this all meshes with Earth's vertical gravity pull, and we have even opposing musculature coming into this center. From the right side to the left side of the body, evenly opposing the center of the body. That's how we stay vertical on Earth's vertical gravity pull. The feet evenly oppose the center line of the human being and grip arches inward to stabilize us. 2 legs on either side of the body come up to the hips or the pelvis. From the hips, we come up in the center line of the body with just one vertical line support of bone, the spine, meshing directly with the vertical pull to gravity. Okay? So, there's only one way the human body could ever work. All musculature does in the body is, well, first of all, it has to come secondary to bones. The muscles connect to the bones. So, there's no such thing as thinking about muscles at all. Unless there's bones there for them to connect to, they wouldn't even be connected to the human being. We wouldn't have muscles if we didn't first have bones. So the bones of the body, the skeletal frame, the foundation, the first thing, like building a building, you start with the framing or the foundation. Well, yeah, the foundation's in the ground, like our feet, essentially. But then the framing of the building, all the wood within the walls, you know, the studs, if you will. I mean, we could get talking about construction, but this is what I'm saying. It's just physics, truly. The bones of the body are its foundational frame. Okay? The feet are at our foundation, as far as the lowest point on Earth's vertical gravity pull. But then all these bones in the body, 206 bones, connect directly to each other through ligaments. Before there's ever a thought about a muscle to connect to a bone, the entire body's bones could exist, just as all one chain of kinetic motion, connected together, bone to 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 bone through the whole human being, from the tips of the toes to the tip of the head, out to the tips of the fingers. All the bones are connected in the body. They're extremely specific in their shape and length. They just grow by themselves. I mean, just look at the little bones in the fingers versus the big long bones like the upper arm or the upper leg. They're completely different. Some bones in the body bend, like the ribs. They actually bend, expanding and contracting in 360 degrees or all the way around each time we breathe. In, they expand, and then they contract when we breathe out. This whole cage of our lungs, this rib cage, all these bendable bones. So the body can only ever do what it does. And you can put your knuckles together of your hands like this and see they only mesh one way. This is the ends of all the bones in the body. A similar thing is what I'm saying. They only are going to ever possibly be able to mesh the way they can physically mesh together. and nothing else ever. It's impossible for the human body to do anything besides just what it does. It always has been, it always will be. Muscles connect to these bones, and muscles connect to these bones through tendons. So there's a muscle, and then at the end of the muscle, there's a little tendon connecting it to a bone, or inserting it to a bone, but the other end of the muscle, there's a tendon connecting it to a bone, or inserting it to a bone, and then all muscles could ever possibly do to work is pull. That's it. We have opposing muscles to all the functions in the body, though, that are each pulling on either side of this function. And there's a neutral position to the entire body, and it's determined by Earth's vertical gravity pull. It's determined by the shape and length of the bones that connect directly to each other through ligaments, and we stabilize in this neutral position to everything the body has, any kind of physical motion, by muscles opposing this function, any of the functions in the body, pulling to stabilize us in a neutral position. There's always just one neutral position to everything in the entire human being, all parts of it. The entire body has a neutral position to everything. The feet, the ankles, the wrists, the hands, the knees, the elbows, essentially. Yes, they're just much different in how they work than something like the wrist or the hand or the ankle or the foot. The shoulders, the elbows, everything in the body. The jaw stabilizes the entire human being. It's in the very center, meshing with Earth's vertical gravity pull. Jaw musculature from this lower jawbone called the mandible comes up to the crown of the head, up almost to the top of the head, down to these upper ribs, and out to the edges of our shoulders. Watch the collar of my top here and my necklace move as I just contract the musculature of my jaw, or activate the musculature of my jaw more than it just already is, stabilizing my body right now. Watch this. Right? Musculature, it only pulls. So, this video's title on the 19th of July, 2026, under In the Image Clothing Company's main site here. And I mean, the validity of this is what it is. It's truth. It's mathematics. Even if we didn't discuss this about the human being, but we were just discussing a robot that we made with metal or wood. The video's title is How the Body Could Get Stiff. I'm going to explain why the title is so specific throughout this, and I'll explain what I'm explaining. It's just what it is, though. Always. There's no breakthrough. It's not like I have some new information. I don't have a sales pitch. Okay. God. Listen to this. It's truth. Truth, always. Truth is always truth. Truth is truth, and that's it. Truth. We don't get to decide or change truth as human beings, just as we didn't get to decide or change how our bodies grew by themselves. God does it. We're breathing, our heart's beating, our eyes are blinking, the body's healing itself and digesting food while we're asleep or in a coma. These things happen, the things that can in those cases. It's just God. Somebody has to be doing it. Nothing happens unless it happens. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Physics, true physics, truth, unchanging eternal truth. How the body could get stiff. This video is titled the 19th of July 2026 under In the Image Clothing Company's main site, spoken by me, the founder but leader for life of In the Image Clothing Company. I'm not ignorant. Hear me correct. Meaning hear me out, because truth is truth. I don't get to decide this information, but it is entirely undisputed when you get to the truth of it. Muscles cannot get tight. The body can get stiffened up in ways, but people talk about tight muscles. All muscles do is pull, though. And they can pull as far as they can until the bones they're connected to physically, literally hit into each other, and it's impossible to go any farther, otherwise you will break bones. Rupture ligaments, tear a tendon, pull a muscle. Something like this will happen. It will have to. If you try to go farther than the only range of motion the body has at its physical bones. All the muscles are doing is moving those bones. So opposing muscles pull us to a full extension where the bones hit into each other, or a full contraction where the bones hit into each other. And it's impossible to go anywhere else. But we've got even opposing musculature to everything to stabilize us in a neutral position. So how the body could get stiff is if there's an imbalance. But let me be very clear to say this before we even discuss much more here. Your muscles cannot get tight. Muscles pull. It's your remote control car making that noise. Wow. Context. Find it if you can for why that's such a big deal.